Hello, everybody, and welcome to On the Shelf. I'm your host, Cyrix, and with me is special guest Soul. So, why don't you introduce yourself? Talk a little bit.
I got to be honest. This is weird being in this side of this. I almost declined.
Yeah, but then I had to remind you that it was in your contract that this had to happen.
Yeah, I don't know how that made it in. I guess I should read the fine print next time.
Yep, you should probably consult a lawyer.
I have, and that's why I'm here.
Awesome.
So
we've been a little bit absent online.
Yeah, a little bit.
I guess you could say. There's been a lot of goings on in the background, a lot of shifting and moving around, so to speak. So I guess we could probably discuss that a little bit, and then talk about the future plans for what's going on.
I brought this bag. I have this bag, and if I shake it hard enough, it meows. So I think I need to let the cat out of the bag. You see what I did there? I let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, the puns are going to be in short supply.
I know, and that's a tragic thing. To get right to the point here, belabor it as little further as possible. I am moving on from On the Shelf. I've had a number of developments in my personal / professional life, I guess I could say. The one thing that I would say about where I'm at is this is almost a very natural progression with what I've done with On the Shelf personally. You and I have had some incredible opportunities over the year and change to work with speak with a lot of individuals throughout the industry. I'm sure you share that sentiment. There's been just some tremendous guests and people we've gotten to talk to.
Yeah. We've made some good connections, some good friends in the industry.
Yeah, and sure. as a part of that, as some of you and maybe all of you that are listening might know, I have recently joined the team over at Special Reserve. We put out PS4 and Switch games. We've put 2 Switch games up. At the time of this recording, there have been 2 Switch games up for pre-order already, The Messenger and Minute, and that work continues. And I had the awesome opportunity to kind of expand my duties. I've actually been doing a few things with them going back to when they released Enter the Gungeon on the PS4. I started working with them a little bit in a small capacity, and over time that has grown. The unfortunate side effect of that is that I have limited hours in the day, since I have my regular full-time job. And then I had all the duties that were happening with On the Shelf, which I love. And then I had this come along. But it's been a dream of mine for quite a long time to have an expanded role with the gaming industry, not just doing the podcast or doing YouTube things or streaming.
Content creation.
Yeah, to move further into the actual that part of the industry. And so I've had a wonderful opportunity from Smitty, Jeff Smith over at Special Reserve. He and I began talking some more, and we've expanded that role. And I've been able to have some interesting input on the future of where they're going with games. I can't get into all the details, obviously, but if you guys get a chance, I do get to write the newsletter. So subscribe to the newsletter. You can do that right from the website, specialreservegames.com. It's at the very bottom of the page. So the newsletter will provide cool updates about what's happening with releases and even other things that are, tangentially created about that, or some things that are related to what we do and what we are over at Special Reserve. But the bottom line is that I wanted to make sure that Cyrix was going to be able to take On the Shelf to a new place. And so it took us a little while to get to that point. He's now known about this for a little while and had some time to reflect on it. And I think you've come to a conclusion, right?
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to keep the brand alive, I guess. Start rolling out additional content that is more geared towards like specific information about games, rather than having a long form podcast, which would require me to take on another co-host, and I don't think I have the heart to deal with another one leaving me down the line. So I'm going to.
I got a tear forming from that one. That almost makes it sound like you might miss me.
Well, give me a couple minutes here, and we'll full circle around to you being happy you're leaving. Yeah, I'm planning on trying to keep up with expanding some of the videos that I'd previously done for the channel. Obviously the upcoming titles, that's going to be it was kind of a big undertaking for two people. So one person doing it's going to be even harder, which, I mean, there's probably times in which you felt like it was just one person, especially when you made the joke about me being on a yacht. That was literally one person.
That was pretty funny. That one, I enjoyed that for quite a bit, actually. But no, I mean, we had a lot of different things that we were trying to do. Some of it was very successful. Some of it wasn't so successful. I mean, just like anything else, right? You try things, you see what people like, you see what you like. Cause there were things that we were doing that some people enjoyed that you and I both kind of were like, I don't know if I want to do this all the time.
Yeah.
And vice versa. There were things that we both really enjoyed that, maybe didn't take with the audience either, but that's just the nature of doing this kind of thing. And I think that you're going to find going forward that that'll be the same. That's not going to change. You're going to try some things. You're going to find out what you like, what you don't like, what the audience likes, what they don't like, and what, kind of you want to do going forward. But honestly, I'm really hopeful, and I will remain a subscriber of the channel just so that I can kind of, enjoy what you put forward. And it's going to be a wonderful thing. Plus, it's not like I'm dropping off the face of the planet. They're hopefully, if you don't get too mad at me, hopefully there'll be an opportunity for me to pop in every once in a while and say hi. It's not like I'm going to stop gaming or stop collecting or, stop anything with Switch. That's certainly not happening. Really, for me, this is just about how much time I have in the day. And for those of you that are not content creators, even with two people, there is just a ton of work just to put out any given video at the level of production that we were doing. There's pre-production work with writing and booking guests and gathering assets and information, that type of thing, plus recording, which is, although fun, one of the smallest portions of actually doing this stuff. Yeah. So, that the times we get to do that were great, but man, that's the tiniest slice of the pie right there when you combine all the stuff that comes before, and then the editing, sound editing, video editing when appropriate, gameplay, that when we had to capture gameplay for that, and then upload and all those things. There's all those pieces around it. So I think anybody that, sees even like a 5-minute video doesn't realize how many hours go into a 5-minute video. Those bi-weekly updates that we would do with Hitting Shelves were a lot of work for sometimes what ended up being a little 5-minute video. There's just a ton of stuff that goes into that.
Yeah. So, yeah. The only thing that's changing for me, aside from doing the solo work, is going to be that I'm cutting Special Reserve from my collection list. I'm done with them.
I'm going to be sending you games that come with a bill, come with an invoice.
Yeah, I will just I'll return to sender because although I like me and Smitty, Cowboys fans, we got that bond.
I'm slowly converting him to a Bills fan.
Well, that would be horrible, but I just can't deal with that kind of treachery, that kind of backstabbery where he just steals away my co-host, and then I can't support that business. I'm sorry.
Well, to be honest, he's paying me more than you were.
Well, that's true, but at the same time, I was paying my own. I was paying for a lot of stuff, we were each paying for a lot of stuff. This was a zero sum gain for us when it comes to monetary spending.
That's true.
So that is another thing that's also going to change. Is that obviously eventually the website will probably lapse. We've already canceled out the SoundCloud, so only the latest episode is probably available. For now, we still have them. Just the channel is not,
and everything's still sitting on YouTube.
Yeah, so and the channel is just not going to. The channel can't support some of the background spending until I know that it's going to be more viable to continue to do so. So in the meantime, those things will last as long as they do, and then eventually they may come back, or who knows, but. We'll see where it goes.
Well, I have to say though, I'll start by giving kind of a heartfelt thank you. First, I'll thank all of the fans for listening to the stuff that we put out. We have a small but very loyal group of people. In fact, you and I were just talking about how over the past few weeks, each of us had been hit up a number of times by different people asking, when's the next stuff coming out? Why aren't we seeing stuff coming out? And we've had to deflect those over the last few weeks as we kind of gathered our situation up.
My deflection was a lot of, I don't know, why don't you go ask Soul about that? That was my deflection.
That explains a lot. I thank the fans, the people that were listening. You guys are fantastic. You know where to find me. You know where the NSC Discord is. You want to talk to me, feel free anytime. Just hit me up. I also want to thank very much all of the special guests that we've had over the period of time, many of which we got a chance to speak to simply out of the generosity of those guests, the people that agreed to give their time, and in many, many cases, some of their goods, so that we could promote things that we had going on. Most recently, the PM Studios giveaway, which, by the way, the winners, they will have their stuff shipped out this week. From that, they both won some incredible games. Thanks to PM Studios again for allowing us to do that giveaway, especially for the first place prize, which had 4 amazing games from PM Studios in it. So that was really great. But yeah, being able to talk to all those guests and spend the time. And what you guys may not know is that outside of speaking to them during the podcast and during the interviews that we were doing, many, many, many of them spent a lot of extra time after the podcast to talk to us, some of which for multiple hours, where we had a chance to just continue conversation off air as they, just kind of chatted with us and spent some time with us. Sometimes, sharing some extra tidbits that we, could or couldn't share with you. And sometimes just, kind of BSing around and chatting it up and talking games. And, it's been a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Tyler Hogle sticks out to me when you mention that because of, we hung out.
I think we stayed up for 4 more hours.
4 hours or so after the podcast, after the interview had ended, and
that was late at night.
It was like 2 a.m. We finally went to bed. But the one thing I can really tell the people about that is some of the stuff that we discussed. with Tyler. He's got some major things coming down the line that people really are going to be looking forward to. I can't wait for him to start announcing some stuff. He's a really busy guy.
Yeah, it's great. And I really do. I thank all of those people for spending the time, all the guests that we had on the show, and not just the industry guests, but some of the stuff we did, kind of later in the show with, the collector profile, all the collectors that came onto the show. I kind of hope that you at least keep something like that up, doing little one-on-ones with the collectors, because I think some of those segments were great. I think some of the stuff that we got a chance to explore with that and talk to some of the collectors is something I personally, and I don't know if you have plans to continue that, but I think that would be great for you to continue. I think those people, really enjoyed coming on, and those segments are short, so they're a little easier to work on. But yeah, that was big thanks to all of them. Mm-hmm. And then, I guess, I'll cap this off. Cyrix would, give a heartfelt thank you for you, as a great co-host that, we could chat and talk about games and have these wonderful conversations. Also kind of like an extra shout out to JP as a guest who came on during some of the direct stuff that we could do a couple of special segments on. So that was kind of cool. You guys, obviously it's been so much fun to do those pieces, and I'll miss having some of the conversations that we could have going on about all the development in the industry. So, hopefully you'll have me back for something here and there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I could have the two of you be guests for special podcasts where we just talk about the directs or something. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I might be able to do something like that. To do that. We do still have a couple things coming down the pipeline as well, that we worked on prior to all of this, and that is releasing the full PM Studios interview. Mm-hmm. We still need to do that, and then we also recorded another this month in gaming history, which I need to really start working on. So those are the two things that I know of for sure that will still be coming, that'll feature both of us, and then going from there, it's going to be awkward not having you around. I appreciate all the time you spent hanging out. Because there was a couple nights where we just hung out and played games and stuff too. That was really fun, like Blade Strangers and Penguin Wars. So
yeah, I hope to do some more of that. I hope that we can get a chance to play some more of those games. Like I said, for me, honestly, the change in this really just comes to availability and time. The editing, the pre-production, that type of thing just took a lot of hours, and I need that to be able to work on some of the other stuff. But I'll still have time for games here and there. So especially with Mario Maker 2 coming out, I do plan on taking some vacation time to do that. Unfortunately, it sounded like there's no friends capability. It's all randoms. I was just telling you about that before we started recording. So I don't know how that's going to work for online play.
You just have to queue at the exact same time.
Yeah, no kidding. And just hope you get lucky, which is kind of a bummer. Especially with the popularity of that game. I can only imagine how difficult that'll be to actually land in a game with friends. But there'll still be tons of good stuff with that. There'll still be a lot of level sharing that people will be able to do. There will still be a lot of, hopefully people can figure out a way to do some building that, I don't know how awkward that's going to be to build with the controller versus the touchscreen, because you can't stream at the same time as using the handheld mode.
Yeah, but you didn't seem to really mind too much the idea of watching somebody build anyway. So
yeah, that's not a huge. I guess I did it every once in a while, but honestly, it's about playing them. If I'm going to build, I usually did that off stream, so that doesn't bug me too much. But I definitely know a bunch of people that did like to do it. Small shout out to Mario Lab, who definitely spent a huge amount of time building on stream. I'll be curious to see how well he gets used to the controller, because you can't move around and build as quickly using a controller.
I haven't seen him stream too much recently.
I'm imagining he's just waiting for for that to come back, for him to get Super Mario Maker 2 before he jumps on. But I mean, you know that of all the builders, he was easily one of the biggest from a builder aspect.
Yeah,
he just created some amazing stuff. So, but yeah, that's coming up. So I'm hoping to play some of that. That'll be fun. Looking forward to playing Hollow Knight, which just got a shipping notice. I don't think that has a 2-player component, but yeah, there'll be other games. Hopefully we'll get a chance to do some of that.
Well, you play some Crystal Crisis that just came out.
Yeah, I'm interested in trying it a little bit. I haven't played it beyond the tutorial, but I do want to try it.
I played the first 3 chapters of story mode. It's interesting. I'm not good
I like
at Tetris,
the component
so
of moving the block off to the side of the screen so you can split the blocks. But.
Yeah, I'm not very good at Tetris, and I oftentimes forget about that. And also, the rotation, the cube actually, one cube stays in the same frame, and the other cube rotates around it. So that kind of gets kind of weird, but I'll get used to it eventually.
I kind of, the game sort of reminds me a little bit of Dr. Mario more than Tetris.
Yeah. I was good at Dr. Mario, though, so I don't know about that. But yeah, I mean, that's,
we had some good times though,
yeah.
So
that's really all there is to it. And we did have some good times. There was a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we can share. We had a lot of outtakes that we're planning on doing some work with, so we can throw some of that in here and let people enjoy that kind of as a going away or a coming of age or a however you want to refer to this extremely emotional breakup video. So
I'm getting teared up just thinking about it.
Is it tears of sadness that you're leaving, or tears of joy that you're getting away from me?
Oh no, I think my wife was cutting an onion. That's
okay. Well, that makes sense. So yeah, that pretty much covers everything that's going on. That's why we've been kind of absent. That is the plans for the future. And we wish you the best of luck with what you're getting into here. Hopefully it turns into a highly paid gig and you start getting invites to all the big after parties, to all the big conventions. And then if you ever need a +1, I'm going to be available, and I promise it'll be fun.
I promise you that I will always make sure to look down as I continue to step up the ladder, mainly so that I know where to spit.
Well, I mean, you've always got to make sure that you do that proper. So
no, it's like I said, it's been a blast, and I wish you the best of luck with On the Shelf going forward. I think that you've got something here that you can really, really move forward with, and I think that there's a lot of potential. So hopefully you can make something big, and when you hit it big, and you start getting some of that YouTube money, you let me know.
YouTube money,
and I'll remember when I wasn't just a subscriber at that point.
When I start selling shirts with your assets on it and not giving you any money.
Yeah, pretty much. You're gonna make T-shirts. You're gonna sell T-shirts.
I've already got the plans. Yeah, I've already got.
Yeah, and I'm gonna look at it and go. I'm gonna tell my friends. You see that shirt right there? I could have made something off of that.
Yeah, you're like 3 cents of every shirt could have been mine.
What could have been?
Yep.
When you're doing co-op videos with PewDiePie, you look back and remember this time fondly.
I'll send you a shirt to give to Smitty and be like, yeah.
Exactly.
He sends this with love.
Why is it stained already? I don't understand.
Yep.
Good times. Good times.
So
best of luck, man.
Thank you. We'll see how this goes.